All right, so I went ahead and I lowered the resolution. I wanted to show you two before we actually export this guy out to do the retopology. One is this. If I go to my object list and if I go down, you're going to see that there's multiple versions. Basically what happens is that every time that we've done like the tessellation or that we mirrored it, so see the symmetry here, it has made a copy of it. So the original one's actually still there. So if I click on this, you don't see it highlighted. It's because it's like hidden, which is kind of weird, but the last one is the one that's ours, all right? What I want to show you is this. If I open this up, you'll see level 0, and I can actually see that this is currently 94,172. That's not bad. That's actually probably good enough that we could bring that in. You could probably get away with, honestly, it completely depends on your computer, but my assumption is you could probably get away with 500,000, but I would try to stay under that if you can help it. The lower the better. The other thing I want to show you is while you have this selected, we were using this remesh right here, so I'm going to click on this. If you scroll down, we were just brushing, right, and doing what have you. What you can actually do, it depends on the density and what have you of your character. This isn't really going to work, and I'll show you why in a second, but this is a good tool to have. If I hold N, and I can up and lower my resolution. So let's say I want to just do a general, this resolution. We'll go a little bit lower. We'll say that, okay? If I hit flood, it will actually, watch. It will flood and I'm just going to hold control and click on it to unselect it. It will flood the entirety of it with that resolution. And now, I'll see, look at 31,000. So now it's 31,000, 31,956. So it's actually lower, but, let's minimize that. Okay. But you can see the problem with, let me just unselect this again. There we go. Is that I lose all of my facial detail because I took the whole thing and I did it over all of it. And that's honestly not really super great. That's why the way we did it, it is a little bit more time consuming, but I do want to have that resolution on my face. But if you were trying to, if you're doing something broad and let's say it's like a mech character or something, there's not really a face there, you could probably just do something like that and that would work fine. But most of you're probably going to want to do it the way that I did it. Even though it does result in higher geometry, but it should because obviously we're leaving details in some areas. Okay, so I'm just going to undo that. Come on. Undo. Alright, I'm going to load up my old file. Alright, so I loaded up the file because, I don't know, it wasn't undoing. Let's just control click. Okay, so now I've got my dude here, and this is the one that I'm going to go with. And I'm just going to go ahead and I just want to export them out. So again, go to the objects and select the last version of yours, and we're just going to export this out. So just go File, where are you? Export Selection. And you can just export it, and I'm going to export it right to that Wolverine example model that I made for before. And I like to call it Mudbox to Maya. That way I know what it is. So you can put like Wolverine Mudbox to Maya or whatever your character is. But I'm just going to leave it as Mudbox to Maya because it's inside the folder and I know. And I'll hit save, and it's going to create an OBJ, okay? Just so you saw. Make sure that on the bottom here, that it's on not FBX, that it's on OBJ files. Okay. Okay. And that's going to create an OBJ. An OBJ is just a generic modeling file format. Once that's done, you can actually close out of this. We don't. And then open up Maya. So just Maya 2020, and just open Maya up. And now we have a new scene here. Okay, so what we're going to do in here is we're going to work in Maya. It's a different program. And the reason why we're going to do that in here is we're going to retopologize the model. Because like I was showing before, that model has way too much geometry. So you wouldn't actually be able to use it on anything, right? Not even really for film, even though it would be pre-rendered, because it's clunky and the geometry doesn't really support deformation, and it would run really slow, and it's just not good. So we're going to retopologize it and give it better geometry, but we're going to use Maya. Mudbox does have a way to create auto topology or retopology, but it's not very good. We're going to use it later just to show you, but I don't really like it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this in here instead. So first thing I want to do is this. I want you to just go File, Project Window, New, and we'll just call this whatever your thing is. So I'm just going to call mine Wolverine underscore Maya so that I know it's Maya, and hit the little folder. And I want you to navigate to your that folder that we've been putting everything in. So mine's on my desktop, and then it's like right towards the bottom. Apparently this is not alphabetical. It's time-stamped. Okay. So I wanted the folder, not the, well, whatever. Back up. There we go. This one. Select that folder. Okay. So put it in the folder and hit accept. What that's going to do is it actually makes, is this, oh, it's up there. Son of a gun. No, thank you. Minimize this. Okay. It actually makes a, come on. Put this over here. There we go. You can open up. It actually makes a project folder. And inside of this, if you're familiar with Intro to 3D, you've already seen this. It has a bunch of just folders and stuff. So this is like made for like making a whole film or game or whatever, like whatever your project is. It makes a whole project folder. It's not the scene itself, but what it is just like all the files that are supporting it. And this will be useful later on, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and do that. Next, what I want to do is actually import my model. So just go File, Import. Actually, before you bother doing import, we're going to import an OBJ. This doesn't open up OBJs by default. So you want to go to Windows, Settings Preferences, Plugin Manager. And you're going to scroll down. You'll see there's different sections. You want to scroll down at the bottom, basically, of the first section. It's actually it's alphabetical. And you want to look for OBJ Export and click on Loaded and Auto Load. Okay, make sure those are both on. Then you can just close it. Now we can go ahead and do it. So File, Import, and probably back up, and then I want to grab the, where are you? Mudbox to Maya OBJ and import. And there's our model. Woohoo! Great. So the navigation for this is actually very similar to the other one. So it's Alt left, middle, right. If I'm off screen, if I hit A, it'll frame all. If you have an object selected, it will frame that specific object. So for instance, let's say I had like, oh man, it's being slow. I had some stuff selected here and hit F to frame. Okay. And if I hit F to frame, it's going to frame those things. I'm just going to go back to object mode. Okay. So that's what it does. Okay, so it allows, that's how you move around it. I'm not going to go over the interface and all that because quite honestly, that's another class and it's like a whole other thing. The only thing I'm really interested in doing here is retopologizing the model. Okay, I just want to make a better looking model. So we now got it in here. Let's just go ahead and save this. Control-Shift-S or File Save As. You're going to see it automatically goes to the Scenes folder of that project folder that we had it create when we did Project Window. And just go ahead and call this like Wolverine model underscore V01. Whatever your name is, obviously. And save as. Okay. And we're going to call this video good. And the next one, we will start retopologizing it.